no matter what happens, HVAC is never going to die.
That again.
So, all right.
Okay. Hi, I'm Caitlin Graham. Today I'm interviewing Francisco Salas of Falco HVAC Enterprise. He is the owner of the company and he is also a chief engineer that handles several high rises in the city of Chicago. And he was a former building engineer as well. So thank you for joining us today, Francisco. So I just wanted to get started and ask if you could tell us a little bit about your current company.
So it's a pleasure being here with you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I am an HVAC company that focuses on making all of the buildings with better equipment, better ideas, and how to we can integrate all of the commercial safety mechanics and advances uh, for for the equipment and also being able to supply it on the residential side of it. Uh, my company has worked on different types of buildings. Everybody knows the buildings. All the buildings look pretty much the same, but in reality, all the buildings work a little bit different internally. So everybody makes heating and cooling. So working in the different buildings and hotel, uh, rental, condominium, residential, that kind of gives me a lot of ideas on what to grab for each individual buildings and being able to come up with some ideas on how make things better for the residents in general, whether it's a hotel, a commercial, um, uh, an apartment building, or a condominium.
Great, thank you. So can you tell me a bit about your career overall and how long you've been in the industry and kind of like where you started and about where you are now?
Well, I started 35 plus years ago, um, and I actually worked for some restaurants originally, but I kind of didn't like that type of environment. So mine was more of a hands-on. So I started working with some buildings mechanically. Um, I just started as a chief engineer assistant. So I was doing mechanical work, repairs, and all of that. So eventually, I became an engineer, and I have been in charge of different buildings. So I kind of like that better than anything else. So it grows really deep in me. I really love doing that type of a work. So I also have worked for other companies, not only being in charge of some of the buildings myself, but also I work for other companies as well. And that kind of lead me to where I am today. All of that knowledge that I collect during those 35 plus years lead me to open up my own business and being able to provide, and offer some alternatives to people.
That's
So, and
awesome.
this basically my goal is to just make things better.
hmm I love that. Could you explain to me a bit about the difference? So, where I am in Ontario, the role of an engineer for buildings is different than where you are in Chicago. So, could you give a bit of a rundown of like your day-to-day tasks and just overall your job responsibilities?
Well, some of the responsibilities as a building engineer, when you're responsible for a high-rise building, whether it's a mid-rise, high-rise, it can go from 10 floors to uh, 80 floors or plus, depending on the size of the building. There are multiple buildings. They have multiple, not only the high-rise portion, but they also have some housing, like townhomes and those kind of things. So they in every section it varies. So some of the responsibilities is to make sure that The heating and cooling goes accordingly to provide services for the homeowners. You are also in charge of choosing the right contractor to do those services. You do a lot of customer service as well because you have to talk to all of the residents depending on what field you are. When you are on the hotel side, you got to make sure that your residents are well, very comfortable on their stay. And the uh, commercial part, there is a different area. So whatever that is, you're responsible to making sure that all the mechanics, the boilers, the chillers, the pumps, fan coils, heat pumps, everything is working properly. Um, Aside from doing some other repairs and being, well, just basically being in charge of all the personnel that has something to do with that because it's not these jobs are very complicated and they're not a one person job. There are some buildings they have 2 3 people personal they handle some of the buildings, and there are buildings they have 20 people plus, so depending on the size, but ultimately the responsibility is to make sure that the building works properly year round.
Out of all of that, what would you say is probably like the most difficult part of your job, and what do you do to overcome it?
Well, actually, as far as difficult things, just like any job, everything is it's got pros and cons, and sometimes some days are easier than others. But in general, because I love what I do, I don't see that one thing is more difficult than other. At the end of the day, you just have to make sure that everybody's happy. All of the residents, management, and everybody involved.
That's great. That's a really good way to look at it. So I wanted to get a little bit into how you know us at Intercool, about like your relationship and how we kind of started working together.
All of the experience working with the different buildings with the different needs, I've always were looking for a system that will be able to help us change some of the equipment that we have nowadays. And those things are, a lot of the equipment that has been on some of these buildings, companies are out of business. Companies are no longer available. So it was very difficult to find someone. So when I decided to embark in my own business, uh, you know, the most one of the most important things for me is to find what am I going to offer to the customers? What am I going to do for them? And coming across Intercool, I see what they do, I see how they do things, and I like the line of work they have. I like the uh, the way they approach things. So knowing the industry and knowing what I can do using Intercool equipment, that kind of give me a great idea to start in my own business. And not only that, but having some product that is quality, well done. And also another thing is that it's very flexible for me to communicate with them, talk to them, given my ideas, and collectively we can come up and make things better. So not only that, but day to day, everything has changes, and we are always looking for ways to implement. Every time I have a conversation with people on any of the buildings, management, residents, and all that, they're asking a lot of questions, and they always have very valid good questions. And one of them is, what kind of equipment are you using? What are you offering? What are the benefits? And all of those things. So having all the different ideas and all the different features that we got to offer is what make things a lot easier for people to make a decision when it comes to replace equipment, because now, let's face it, nothing is cheap anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so that is also why I decided to partner with Intercool and working with their equipment.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Could you explain a bit about what sets apart your company from others in the industry?
Well, one of the things that I offer, I am a very kind of a old-fashioned person. I don't like to do a lot of communication, through social media and things like that. I like to talk to people more personally. I want to give them my time. So giving that is very important. Nobody does that anymore. People are very focused on many other things, and customer service is one of the things that has been missing from a lot of the big corporations. So that is one of the things. So I care about my customers. I try to, when I do one project, I like to focus on that project, focus on that customer before I jump into many others. Because if I have a one happy customer, that is going to lead me to a second happy customer. But
Yeah.
if I try to grab too much and I'm not able to deliver, I'm not going to have the second customer. I'm going to stick with the first one or maybe lose the first one as well.
Hmm.
So I try to put my most effort is to take care of them, given what they are really paying for, because they're paying you for a service and you should be able to deliver that service.
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at it. I feel like a lot of people don't really care necessarily about like the people involved. So I think that's like a hard kind of skill to come by, especially nowadays. So yeah, I definitely think that makes your company unique for sure.
So that and also the way that I have physically been involved with all the different sectors, that gives me an ability to recognize the importance about some of the giving a building a very good idea what is the best choice, not only from the standpoint that they need something, but what is the best approach, what is the best equipment, and all, not only that, but also give them ideas on how prolong the life of that equipment.
So on that note, what advice would you give somebody looking to get into the like a similar role or just like in this industry?
Well, everybody has their own goals, their own dreams, and all of that. For me in particular, is just loving what I do and being able to provide services. Every time I have a building, I remember my very first building that I have was 350 units,
It's a
and
lot.
and it was a very old building with uh, it was a retirement home.
Hmm.
So during that retirement home, I saw the needs of elderly people that don't, they live by themselves and all of those things. And I kind of growed certain interests for certain things. And mechanically speaking, and being able to offer services, that was one of the things that allowed me to wanted to do more for people. So the next building that I get, it was larger and larger. So now, after being in charge of different buildings, offering uh, help to 300 people in one building, 500 people in another building, 1,000 people in another building, I wanted to be able to do something a little bit different. Not only providing ideas and services for those people, but now I'm in a position where I wanted to offer that to entire buildings, not only one building, two buildings, three buildings, whatever I can do to make people's lives easier is basically what I'm working towards. So anybody, provide different services, and people have different ideas about approaching some type of a business or whatnot. But I think it is just person to person what are they like. But as
Yeah.
far as doing something, first and foremost, you gotta love what you do.
Yes, 100%. Thank you for all of your wonderful answers. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, just overall?
Well, overall, first of all, I wanted to give you the thanks for the opportunity to say a couple of words and
Yeah, of course.
share
Thank
some of
you.
some of the things that I do and that I'm able to do for the customers, and just that I'm here for anybody that needs anything. And if you guys need anything, also I'm here for you.